Welcome back to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett, and we're looking at yet another item from the Wave 1 release of D&D Attack Wing. This one is the Sun Elf Troop Expansion Pack. Whole bunch of figures, 6 Sun Elves for you to add to your forces. Let's read off the back to describe it a little bit better. The Harper Legion has recruited many powerful allies, including a troop of elven archers so deadly in their accuracy that they can find the weakness of the strongest enemies. Led by Limnin, the elven warrior with a mysterious past, they are known for forming up and peppering their enemies with countless arrows before their foes can even draw their weapons. Today, Limnin's troops have been given a difficult mission. Nimestra, the wizard, has sent them to retrieve an important missive left at the edge of a forest, knowing full well that the area is crawling with enemies who serve the evil dragons. But Nimestra knows that Limnin has led her troop to countless victories. See all that 5 times fast. Game contents: you get 13 cards, 28 tokens, 2 maneuver dials, 6 painted plastic creatures with bases and adapters. So let's crack this open. But before we get to that, for those who don't know, D&D Attack Wing is a game by WizKids. It features a whole bunch of pre-painted figures. It's been out for a little bit now, a couple weeks. It's based off of Wizards of the Coast, Dungeons & Dragons, the classic role-playing game, and more importantly, their latest storyline, The Tyranny of Dragons, all kind of ties together so you can do your role-playing and then maybe get a little D&D tackling to expand that experience as well. The way the game works is every figure is worth a point value, and then you can do upgrades like armors and weapons and spells and stuff like that to change your forces. So you agree upon a points system, like you say, we're going to play 100-something points, and then you and your opponents build armies and show up, and you don't know what your opponent's going to bring, so it kind of adds to the fun and this mystery. But what's cool with these packs, all these expansion packs, is they also give you some scenarios to play. So you don't have to just go out and play like random games. You can actually go out and try to play through the scenarios that are provided for you, which is pretty cool. First and foremost, we've got all these figures and a whole bunch of bases for us. Actually, really kind of handy plastic thing. It's kind of cool. So let's compare the figure sizes to the rest. So this is the Ballista. The Ballista is just about, I would say, right when it comes to scale. And then compare the Frost Giant. Frost Giant, of course, is towering them as expected. And the Dragon, it's a good size bigger. It probably should be just slightly bigger, but we'll say it's a baby dragon. The figures are pretty decent. We're going to crack one out. There's one with a different color weapon, so I think that's supposed to be the named character that was on the back. You can kind of check it out. Some decent detail for the size of the figure. Of course, you get a whole bunch of them. We don't need that. Got explanation of everything that's in here. It's the easiest way to open this up. Alright, so we've got the bases for the troops, some tokens, your dials as to what the troops are going to do. So that's Sun Elf Troop Grounded, and here's some more Sun Elf Troop Grounded. I guess some ways to keep track of them. Harper Legion 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some more tokens, some more stuff to keep track of them. We have Sun Elf Archers, or Harper Legion Elves. And the other one is Harper Legion Elves and Sun Elf Archers. So, a whole bunch of options for this. So here we go. We've got scenario 3.7. I've done these so out of order. It's an important piece of intelligence was left, for the Harper Legion at the usual drop-off point at the edge of a great wooded area, but that was before an enemy forced force camped in front of it. Last night, the Harper Legion sent an elf troop to sneak in, and they'll retrieve the missive. But to depart in the morning light, they'll need the distraction of a pitched battle. So this is, again, a two-player scenario. Special components, none. Legion points. Elves, 120 points, including at least one soldier from the Harper Legion elves. The enemy is also 120 points. The elves place the Harper Legion within 6 inches. Enemy places its creatures within 3 inches of the starting line. Blah, 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 blah. There's some special rules, of course, objectives, and then some after the battle to figure it all out. Again, cool scenario for you to play out with other players. So let's go over everything. So we've got some movement. We've got more movement. Alrighty. Let's first look at the movement. So we got two different movement. We've got the Sun Elf Troop Ground and Sun Elf Troop Ground. Well, there's not really much difference. We just have two cards to keep track of things. So you can see their movement. Look like they've got decent movement. I wouldn't say quite what I would expect for nimble troops on the ground, let alone elves, but you know, you can get them around. Let's actually look at the two different things. So, Sun Elf Archers, they're 10 points apiece. They have a bow that's ranged, spear for melee. Not much as far as attack for 10 points apiece. It's 1 attack die, but they do have 3 defense, which is pretty solid. 1 health, no armor, pretty easy to kill, in other words. Over here we've got the Harper Legion Elves, a little bit more, over twice the points at 21 points. Their attacks are the same. The defense is a little bit better with 4. Again, 1 health, no armor. Each time you attack with your primary weapon, you may convert some results, making it a little bit easier for you to kill folks. This is level 9. These are level 2. Some cool options. And what's nice is you can mix things up, and you don't have to use the same points for all the figures. So let's actually look at got a whole bunch of specials. Let's go with that. Special, special, special. Specials, we're all going to put in points order and kind of go through them that way. So first up, we've got Campaign Artifact, Two-Handed Weapon, Mithril Thorn. Use your primary weapon value to make a melee attack at a range 1 to 2 in your forward arc. For each point of critical damage you inflict against your opponent during this attack, you may draw 2 damage cards instead of 1, and choose which one to place beside the enemy's creature card to discard the unused damage card. You cannot equip another weapon or shield upgrade. An elf troop can use an upgrade slot to equip this weapon. So one for elves, it's going to help you do some more like critical crazy damage to other players. You're allowed to basically pick your damage card so you can make sure that they get the worst of worst options for them. Over here we have displacement of level 5+, so that's really only your Harper Legion elf is going to be able to use this one out of this set. You disable this upgrade each time you defend against an attack that is neither a cone nor a burst roll. +1 defense die and convert up to 2 results into some various things. Nice. 4 points, helps you do a little better defense. Column formation, if your troops has at least 3 soldiers, and all the soldiers in your troop form a single column from front to back. When you reveal your maneuver dial, you may treat all of your red maneuvers as white maneuvers for the rest of this round. There we go. I talked about how they weren't able to, didn't look like they were able to move as nimbly as they probably should. Well, guess what? We got a little point that helps that out. To reassemble, after an enemy creature performs an action, you may discard this card to choose a new point soldier for this round. You may then immediately create a new formation with your troop. Again, answers that whole nimble thing, so it'll be nice defensive help. 2 point, during a primary weapon range attack, add +1 attack die if your range is at if you're at range 1 for point blank shot. Not bad, getting close, do a little damage. Line formation, 4 points. You must have at least 4 soldiers in your troop's front line to initiate the following attack. Disable this upgrade to make a primary weapon ranged attack against every creature within ranged 1 to 3 ground or air in your forward arc. That's not bad. Cost 4. First strike. During the combat phase, your troops attack first. If any enemy troop also activates first strike, then the troop with the higher level attacks first. When this effect ends for any reason, discard this card. Elven Accuracy. During a primary weapon range attack, If any of your damage is about to be deflected by your target's armor during the deflect hit step of combat, you may disable this upgrade and spend your target token to penetrate the opponent's armor. Can help get some things through. Again, must be elf to equip. Elf leader must be a good troop to equip. Whenever you lose a soldier, you must roll 1 attack die, even if this card is disabled. If you roll a burst, discard this card. Otherwise, you may disable this card to remove a troop token from the bottom of the stack instead of the top. You may do this if Limnin is already disabled. It's elf leader Limnin. Cost of 5. So again, a lot of stuff that's very elf specific. There's some other elf items out there that you can pick up. Basically the cards answer the questions when I was like, well, they don't seem like they're going to be able to move well enough. Well, yeah, here you go. I guess I spoke too soon. But again, helps you vary some things. You can basically do a cool game with maybe your Frost Giant and then some Elves versus a Dragon. You can do the Elves versus the Frost Giant. Maybe the Elves versus the Ballista. Who knows? I mean, last I heard, Elves and Dwarves don't always get along, so there's some justification on that one. But again, helps you change up the game. It gives you a little bit more options as far as what your tactics are going to use. Again, we're going to talk about that down the road as we play more and more of these games, especially during the organized play over the coming months. So come back, check out new videos. We're going to have something interesting for it pretty regularly. We're beefing up our YouTube channel. As always, this is Graphic Policy. You can catch us at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, etc. All at Graphic Policy. We keep it nice and consistent. Again, this is D&D Attack Wing from WizKids. You can get it now. Thank you, WizKids, for hooking us up to show it all off. Until next time, keep it geeky.